It's pretty well known at this point that you can get a nice guitar for a pretty reasonable price, but maybe you should get that $1,000 guitar that you've had your eye on. This isn't a review video, this isn't a demo. The purpose of this video is it's more of a discussion. So join in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Now recently I purchased maybe more than one $1,000 guitar. This one I'll show you in a minute. You'll see them go for maybe $850 to $1,100 used. But this is the guitar that I've wanted through high school, through college for years. I would go to Guitar Center. I would just kind of stare at the guitars. They even offered to let me play these like Gibson Les Pauls. Some of them were like $2,000, and I think now would be worth like 20 grand. But I was always afraid to touch them because they were in the special guitar area, the sort of vintage guitar area. But the prices were pretty good when I was in high school. Now, they're worth a lot. I didn't buy this for an investment. I bought this because I got a good deal. And I kind of figured I've wanted something for so long and I can afford it now, so I might as well actually invest. If I ever want to get rid of it, I'm sure someone would want to buy it, I think. Let's check it out. I used to always wear red and black. I just liked the colors and I wore them all the time, so here it is. We've got here my sort of like vintage cherry Les Paul Studio. This is the guitar that I've been wanting, and it's mine. It came with upgraded Grover tuners. They're pretty sweet. They have this like aged look to them. I think they're probably nickel. And it came with an upgraded bridge. I really don't know anything about the bridge. It's just the original parts are in the case. I'd say this is a pretty common model. But this thing was listed as being like new. It's not like new, but it's in really nice shape for its age. This is a 2011 model. I don't think it was played much. It was professionally set up. I think it could probably use some new strings at this point. It feels great though. Like, it sounds really good. It feels really good. It's comfortable. It's been played, but really doesn't look like it's been abused. So let's talk more about the whole idea of spending a lot of money. What made me think of this as a topic is really, I'm a skydiver, as I've mentioned in a couple videos. I jump out of airplanes. I've been doing it for 18 years, I think. I've jumped, around 1,000 times, and the gear is crazy expensive. A parachute went from like 2,000, maybe 2,500 just for the parachute itself, to 3 grand for a basic sort of sport parachute. They're all priced, most of them are priced right around the same. It's not like a car where there's a huge range. Really, the only time someone spends more than, say, 3 grand is when they're getting into the really like niche competitive stuff, but that's like less than 1% of skydivers. So your average and even professional skydiver is using a $3,000 parachute. Now the whole setup, 10 grand. So that's the harness, the container, the reserve parachute, which comes in handy, you gotta have one. 10,000 bucks for everything total, which is like 4 main components. It sounds crazy to a lot of people if you're like, yeah, I gotta get a new skydiving rig, it's 10 grand. That's if you go brand new, right? Used though, they're still going for 5 to 8 grand. It's really hard to get an okay used rig for 4 grand. It's almost unheard of now. Here's the thing though, like if you're going to use a parachute, you pretty much have to replace components pretty quickly. And then you have to buy another one. You have to buy a new automatic activation device, which is the little computer that activates the reserve if you can't for some reason. People spend a lot of money on hobbies. People spend tons of money on all-terrain vehicles, ATVs, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, snowmobiles. People spend money on bicycles, even to buy like running equipment. If you want to like run a few times a week, you could spend hundreds just getting good shoes, nice clothing, whatever else you need, just to get started on running. And that doesn't include apps, that doesn't include any of the other stuff. So people spend a lot of money on hobbies. I'm sure a lot of you have hobbies other than playing guitar. So let's chat about that in the comments. Like what kind of hobby you're into, whether it's common or unique, and how much that kind of gear costs. So if we compare all of this to guitar, I think it's awesome that for 200 bucks, 300 bucks, you can get a Tease guitar, a Firefly, some of the other really good budget brands, definitely awesome. And I'm not here to debate if those are as good as a Gibson or a Fender, or if Fender or Gibson are better and you have to spend, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 to get something that's okay. That's not what this video is about. As you know, I'm a big fan of budget brands. I think it's really impressive what you can get for $200 to $300 now. But I think it's okay to treat yourself too. I think it could make a lot of sense to have a really kind of more expensive guitar like this and a few budget guitars. Maybe you don't want to bring something like this out to a gig because it might get kind of beat up or abused or stolen, and maybe a little more okay with a slightly more affordable instrument kind of being subject to those risks. Or maybe you want something like this because you do perform. I definitely don't perform, but I just figured it was about time to get the guitar that I would like look through the shop window and stare at and look at pictures online and chat with my friends about as if I'll never own it. But I own this. Pretty sweet. $650 with the hard shell case, and it came with the upgraded parts and all the original parts. Like I said, it was set up. It sounds good. It's in good shape. Not abused. I think I did pretty well. I am definitely happy I purchased this, but I think it's an interesting conversation to have. The whole concept of like spending money, not spending money, saving money. I'm definitely curious to hear what other people have to say. And I know that the opinions vary too. Like, should you focus on saving your money? Should you get one really nice guitar that is gonna last forever? It's kind of up to you. But if you can afford it, and if you feel like it's the right choice for you, then I'd say do it. Also just look for good deals, because there are plenty of people that have the guitar that you've wanted or one similar, and you can pick it up for a good price if you want to. But yeah, I'm not here to tell you you have to, but I'm saying maybe you should if you want to. Even if we're looking at like spending money and we consider like if the smallest thing goes wrong in your house, if an appliance goes, you could spend triple this just having a refrigerator that works. You know, you could spend 5 times this amount just getting, or 10 times this amount just so you have hot water at home, or just to get your heating system working again for some seemingly minor issue. It's the way money is now. The value of money always changes. I'm not getting into politics or the economy or anything, but just throwing out the like general idea. $650 or $1,000 isn't really that much anymore relative to other things. It might still be a lot out of your pocket to go spend maybe $1,000. I think that amount of money has changed, but people still perceive spending $1,000 for a guitar like they did 20 years ago or 30 years ago. $1,000 on a guitar 30 years ago probably hurt quite a bit more than it does now. Like, even just to put, you know, middle of the road tires on my car now, you really can't get out of the shop for under $800 to $1,000. It'd be really hard to get an okay or decent set of tires for under $800, $900, or $1,000 now. If you have a truck or a big SUV, good luck. I think money is different though. But along with that comes these better values in a lot of ways. Video cameras, computers, other electronics. A lot of things are cheaper than ever, and they're better than they used to be. So it's really kind of interesting to see how that works. And as I mentioned, budget guitars, it's insane how good a budget guitar can be now for $300. You know, like some of the ones you've seen on the channel recently and that you're going to see soon, $200 to $300. And a lot of people argue that they're just about as good as a $1,000 guitar. That's up to you to decide. But maybe you need to get both so that you can decide with some experience. I thought it'd be fun to get the conversation going. I don't often do videos like this, so thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the conversation, leaving your thoughts in the chat below. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to subscribe, because there's plenty of guitar content coming, and there's lots that I've done recently that I think you should check out too. Take a moment to browse. Hopefully you'll find something you like. I'm just gonna leave this screen up long enough so that you can decide if you want to subscribe or click on the video that YouTube is suggesting. I think you should.